2025, and that means we are going to be creating a vision board together. I've been waiting so long to make this video and I'm so excited, so we're just gonna hop right in. There's a few things you're going to need. There's also a few ways you can make a vision board, but if you want to follow my exact way for how to make a vision board that you can put in your room, your apartment, wherever it may be, you're going to need a canvas of some sort or even a poster board. You're going to need some clear glue, or you can use a glue stick or tape. You're going to need some scissors, and then you're also going to need a few pictures. I got mine from Pinterest. You can get them from anywhere you would like. That is literally all you're going to need. If you want to do this digitally, all you're going to need is Canva, Pinterest, and a computer or your phone. We're gonna hop right in. I have a few things that I want to talk about vision boards, and then I also have a few things that I want to go over for my year because I feel like it would be fun to list out every single one of my goals and kind of correlate them into how I plan out my vision boards and how I expect it to make my year go. So we are going to start right now. So here's my little canvas. The first thing I'm going to do is sort through my pictures and kind of just lay them out on my canvas. That's personally how I always like to do my vision boards. I feel like I need to move my camera back. Although I talk about vision boards on my channel a lot, I don't think I've ever made a full one where I lay out all of my pictures on the board and I kind of just talk to you guys while I'm making it. So that's what we're going to do today. So I think we should start off with the importance of a vision board. If you don't know what a vision board is, the way I like to describe it is something that is going to allow your vision to come to life. There's a lot of dreams and things that I want to happen. I'm sure there's a lot of goals that you guys have for your own self and for your own careers and own life. And a good way to actually put all those goals together and come up with a plan on how you want them to happen is to have a clear vision of what that may look like and how to get from point A to point B. I think that the number one thing when thinking about vision boards and goals is to not get overwhelmed, because although we may have a lot of goals, it may get a little overwhelming on how you're going to achieve those goals. And I think that finding a way to work around that overwhelming feeling and make it all positive is something that is really beneficial and something I've been implementing in my life for a while now. And a big factor of that is vision boards. So I've been using vision boards for a while. I want to say I've been using more of the digital ones. Personally, I feel like the digital ones are a lot better for me just because I am always on my phone. I am always on my computer editing or working, and I feel like it's just a lot easier for me to kind of remember that vision. The whole point of it is to be able to see what your goals are every single day and allow that to inspire you and remotivate you if needed, at least in my opinion. And I think that having it in your room is really good too, but I'm not always in my room, so even though I do like to make the vision board that is in my room, I also like to have one on my phone and one on my computer so that I can always see it. I'll have a picture of the one that I made on Canva on the screen right here. Basically, there's just a lot of the things that I want to happen in 2025. As I mentioned, I did get all of these from Pinterest, and I do have a board pinned on my Pinterest called 2025 Vision, and that has all of these pictures in it. So if you're someone who just needs a little bit of inspiration and you want to see the pictures more up close, I do have them saved on my Pinterest as well. That's basically the main point of vision boards. I think that they are extremely important, and I think they've really been making a comeback in the past couple of years. I know that a lot of people do not believe that just putting a picture on your vision board is going to make it your reality, and in a way that's true, but the whole point is, for me at least, I'm putting it on my vision board because it's something that I really want to work to have in 2025. And you're right, if I just sit down and have it on my vision board but I don't do anything to make it come into my reality, you're 100% right, it's not going to. But if I have it on my vision board, I have really high hopes, I have really good goals that align with how I would get it in my life, and I'm working really hard towards it, and I have all these plans and goals on how I'm going to achieve it. That's when the vision board will make it come into reality. And it comes, of course, with you putting in the hard work, but it also comes with you believing in yourself. And I think that that's a very key factor here. Believing in yourself is so important, and you can work so hard for something and at the end of the day not get the exact thing that you want because of self-doubt that you have. If you have self-doubt, you are not going to get the things that you want, at least not in the time frame that you want them, or not in the exact way that you want them. I'm not saying that it'll never happen, but I am saying that you are your worst enemy when it comes to self-doubt. If you have a goal, you have to be able to believe in yourself and to change your mindset into believing that you are worthy of that goal, you deserve that goal, you deserve deserve what you are trying to achieve. And at the end of the day, until you can change your mindset, the game is just so much harder to actually attract the good things that you want to come into your life. I say this all the time, but mindset is key. If you are a positive person and you have more of a positive outlook on a lot of things, that is when the game changes, because if you don't have a positive outlook on things, it's going to be a lot harder for you to believe in yourself. And when we can't believe in ourselves, it becomes harder to actually work towards the goal because you lose motivation, and it's just not a positive thing anymore. And the thing I always say is the things you want, the things that are going to make you happy, should be things that allow you to work towards those goals, but also allow you to still have happiness while working towards those goals. And believing in yourself, having a good mindset, showing up for yourself is the number one thing that's going to allow you to get there. So in the aspect of, if I just put this on my vision board and sit tight, it's not going to happen. You're most likely right, at least in the time frame that you want it to happen. But if you put it on your vision board with good intentions, you have a goal and a plan on how you're going to achieve those things, and you put them into action, you will see them start to come into reality more often. So that's what I wanted to say about vision boards and how I actually make my vision board come true. I think a lot of it starts with mindset, and a lot of it starts with knowing your self-worth and loving yourself and believing in yourself enough to actually realize that this can happen and you can make anything your reality, because you can really do anything that you set your mind to. You just have to have the motivation, determination, and the patience. And another key factor into all of this is you have to be happy for other people's success. And I know that that may seem a little weird to say, because it could be hard when somebody else has everything that you want just to be happy for them. But at the end of the day, everything works in its own timing, and everyone deserves to be happy. And it's just so important to show gratitude for the little things and to show happiness for your friends, your family, and the people in your life, and even people you might not know in your life that make an appearance. It's so important to show that you're happy for them, because you never know what they went through to get to that goal. You never know how hard it was for them to reach it, and they deserve it as well. And it's just really important to show that you have patience, you are happy for other people, and you know that within the right timing, you are going to get what you are striving to achieve, as long as you don't give up, you keep going, and you have that belief in yourself no matter what obstacles may come. I'm not saying it's always going to be easy, because it's not. You're going to hit obstacles, you're going to have some hardships sometimes, but that's what the challenge is. I feel like when I start realizing a challenge, I know that the thing that I'm trying to attract is so much closer than I think it is, and it's kind of like the final test. This was a very hard thing for me to come to terms with a while ago when I started manifestation and when I started making vision boards and making goals. I always felt like I was so close and then I just wouldn't achieve it. And I think a lot of it has to do with not having enough self-love and not having enough belief in myself that I actually had the ability to reach what I was trying to reach, if that makes sense. Because as soon as I stopped doubting myself and understanding that I had the ability to achieve what I wanted and it was already mine, that's when the game really changed. You have to talk about things as if they are already yours, and as if you have no doubt that it is yours. Because when you talk about things as if you already have them, if you already have something, you're not going to doubt it, if that makes sense, when it comes to a goal perspective. And I think that's really important to remember as well, because the whole point is, why would you doubt something you already have? You wouldn't, because you already have it, you already want it. So that's kind of how I work around those obstacles. I feel like I have a lot of pictures kind of spread out here, so I am going to put these to the side and just kind of start putting them on my vision board so I can properly lay everything out. I'm just gonna put a little glue on this, and we are going to eventually put this up on my wall so that when I am in my room, I can always see my vision board and remember my goals. I'm gonna put this in the middle. It just says 2025 is when my dreams come true. Not if, but when. I think that is so important to remember. We need to remember that we're not saying if they come true, we're saying when they come true. And I think that's so cute. Look how cute that looks. And then we're just going to put all of the pictures kind of like around it. You can kind of do this in any way you want. You can overlap them. I want to put my main goals in the middle, and then the goals that come from those main goals on the outside. I think that's a good way to start this. Just making this vision board is making me really happy and excited for 2025. I talked about this in a different one of my videos, but I just have a really good feeling about 2025. I think that 2025 is going to be the best year yet, and I really have a lot of plans to not fall out of a routine. I talked about this a little bit in a lot of my prepping videos, but I feel like a lot of the time I'll have goals and I'll have things that I really want to happen, but I'll fall out of them a lot of the time, and I get really frustrated with myself, because although it's not my intention intention to fall out of them. I do, because January and the winter months here in New Jersey are really not the best for me. And last year I fell out of a lot of the goals that I really didn't want to fall out of and that I really wanted to achieve in 2025. I think it's also important to remember that failure is not your enemy unless you give up. And what I mean by that is you always have the ability to keep trying. You always have the ability to be that much closer to your goal as long as you don't give up. The second you give up is the second that failure wins, and that's when it becomes a problem. If you don't give up, it's okay if you don't reach your goal in the time span that you wanted to reach your goal. I've had the goal of so many things when it comes to social media for so long, and just to put this into perspective, I've had the goal of hitting 100K on YouTube for a very long time, and each year I get closer and closer to hitting 100K. I think last year I was at 30K. This year I'm almost at 45,000 subscribers, which I want to say right now I'm so thankful for. Seriously, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. I appreciate all of you so much, and I love you so much, and I would not be where I am today without you, and I really truthfully appreciate that. I just wanted to take a minute to say that, because although I have goals with social media, the care that I have for all of you and the love I have for the community we built does not go unnoticed. I love you guys so much, and I appreciate every single one of you. I just wanted to say that before I continue. Obviously, with that and with doing social media, I do have some goals, and getting that 100,000 subscriber plaque has been my goal ever since I started YouTube. And although I didn't get it yet, I have high hopes that it is in my future, and I know that we can do it together. And that's just a way to show that no, I may have not hit it in 2024 or 2023 or 2022 like I wanted to. That was on my vision board, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to, and that does not mean that I should give up, and I'm not going to. I'm going to keep pushing myself. I'm going to keep those goals that are going to align me to actually reach my goals. And this goes with everything. This goes with your personal goals, your work goals, your relationship goals, your friendship goals. No matter what it is, the goal that you are trying to achieve, if you don't achieve it in the time span that you want to, that is okay, as long as you don't give up. Personally, social media is something I would never give up on, because I truthfully love it, and that's another thing I think is worth mentioning. If you are doing something because you love it, you are doing it for the right reasons. But if you are doing something for other reasons, you can try it and it might work and you might grow the love for it, but at the end of the day, if you don't truthfully have a passion for a goal that you are trying to obtain, if you don't have the patience for it, it's going to be a lot harder to obtain than it would be if you truthfully loved what you were doing, if that makes sense. This is coming out so cute. Look at how cute that is. Now that I talked about all of that, I kind of want to talk about 2024 for myself. Not necessarily everything that went wrong, but some things that I think went right, because I've talked about 2024 a lot on my channel this year, and ultimately I just didn't have the best 2024, and that's completely okay. Sometimes that's going to happen, but this year I'm determined to change that and make my 2025 so much better and what I wanted 2024 to look like. There was a lot of things that happened in 2024 that were kind of out of my control, which did lead to not giving my effort into my goals, which sometimes life is going to happen, and sometimes there's no other thing you can do but simply show up for the people you love and yourself. If you're having that type of year, I want to put out there right now that that is okay. That is life. As long as you don't forget those goals, eventually find your way coming back to those goals like I'm doing now, that's okay. And I think it's really important to put that out there, because social media at the end of the day is a highlight reel, and although a lot of people will be posting things that they achieved in 2024, which is great, I think it's really also important to recognize that if you didn't have the best year and 2024 was just not one you want to remember, that's okay too. And what you see on social media is what people choose to share. It's not their whole life. That doesn't mean that 2024 wasn't a good year for them. That just means that they're choosing to show certain aspects of their life, and they might be choosing not to share other aspects of their life, and that's completely okay. But I think that oftentimes that gets overlooked, and I just wanted to remind everyone that before I actually share what I'm going to share with all of my goals and all of the good things that happened in 2024, that I also did not have the best year, and unless I verbally said that, no one would know that. If you are someone who's feeling a little overwhelmed or not the best about 2025, that's normal, and just because you see a lot of vision board planning and a lot of goals doesn't mean that something else is not occurring that people might not want to share. Everyone goes through things, I think it's safe to say, and it's all within timing that you really can't control sometimes, and I think that's important to say as well. If you are somebody who is not having the best 2025 or didn't have the best 2024, I'm here for you. My DMs are always open, and I truthfully love you, and I'm sending all the love, and I hope things do do get better. But now that I said that, I did want to touch a little bit on 2024 and the good things that happened. One thing I did do in January was I went to Florida to see one of my best friends. That was a really fun trip. I got to see dolphins, I got to see elephants, which was really cool. I never was able to pet an elephant before, and we were able to do that, which I thought was really cool. So I had a good trip in Sarasota, Florida with my friend in January of 2024. Then February came around. I don't think much happened in February that's worth mentioning. March, I'm actually just gonna skip over March because March just was not a good month, and it doesn't only involve me, so I'm not going to disclose it, but just going to skip over March because it wasn't a good month. April was really not a good month either. I had a lot of flare-ups with my PCOS. I don't think anything good occurred in April, if I'm being honest. I did go to a tulip field, which was nice. I love flowers. Flowers are something that bring me a lot of joy and happiness, so it was nice being able to run in a tulip field. I guess that's the one thing I will say. Finding the joy in little things is really important, so I think that April really reminded me of that. Then May came around. May was my boyfriend's 22nd birthday, so we had a little party for him. And also in May, my boyfriend got his new puppy. His name is Maverick, and that was a really good thing that happened. Maverick brings a lot of joy and craziness to me and my boyfriend's family, which we absolutely love. So that was a good thing that happened in May as well. Then it was June. June was an okay month. It was my 24th birthday, so I celebrated that with my boyfriend's family, and then I celebrated that with my family, and then I also celebrated it with my friends. I went to a brunch, and one of my best friends, Madison, also threw a little party for me at her house, which was so sweet, and I was filled with a lot of love, which I really appreciate. Also in June, I wanted to mention that I finally started to take my flare-ups with PCOS a lot more serious, and I kind of started to put everything into a perspective of, I know what's making me upset, I know how to fix it. It may be hard, but I'm determined to actually get this done and to actually fix it. So that's what I did, and honestly, I'm very happy that I decided to do that. I started going to Orange Theory more, and I also started working with a personal trainer who gave me a meal plan and who also worked with clients that had PCOS. So I felt okay going to her and kind of talking to her about what was really bothering me about my PCOS and how I just felt like I would lose weight and then I would just gain it all back, and it really wasn't in my control at all times because of PCOS. It just felt nice to have somebody to talk to and to be heard, if that makes sense, and just know that somebody was listening, and I really appreciated that. So I started my weight loss journey in June, I would say right after my birthday. Then July came around. July was an okay month. Me and my boyfriend spent the 4th of July down the shore with his mom and his brother. We went to the beach a lot, and then also in July I went to a pizza making class for my friend Ariella's birthday, and I got to see some of my friends that I haven't seen in a while, and I also got to meet some of Ariella's co-workers who were all really nice. We also went to a karaoke bar, which was really fun. I will say from July to December, everything started getting a lot better. The first 6 months of the year were very, very hard for me, and then the last 6 months of the year, I wouldn't say were easy, but they were a lot better than the first 6 months, which just goes to show that everything really does get better with time, and I think that's important to mention as well. In August, I went to a Tate McRae concert with my friends Brianna and Madison, so that was fun. In September, I started posting a lot of my fall content, which if you know me, you know I love fall. I just get really excited around the fall time, and that was really fun for me to create because I'm obsessed with coziness. And then in October, it was Halloween, so that was fun. I started doing a lot of fall activities. I went apple picking in September, and then I went pumpkin picking in October. Me and my boyfriend and his brother carved pumpkins, and in October, we also went to Cancun with his family for his cousin Savannah's wedding, and I was actually in the bridal party, which was so fun. I've never been in a bridal party before, and it was just a really fun experience, so we had a lot of fun in Cancun. I actually got to swim with dolphins. I love dolphins. I actually wanted to be a dolphin trainer growing up, and I swam with the dolphins a lot before, but this time it was really, really cool because the dolphins pushed us by our feet, and it was just a really fun experience. Then we came home, and it was November. I went to Dunkin', I think the day we got home from Cancun, and I wanted to try the winter drinks that were coming out, and I went into so many different Dunkins, and no one had them out yet because I went in, I think like a day before they came out. And then I went into this one Dunkin', and the worker was so so sweet, so nice. She made me every single drink that was on the menu. She specialized them for me because I have nut allergies, so I was asking her if she can sub, I believe it was like almond milk for 2% milk and make sure nothing had nuts in it, which was really sweet of her. She gave me the winter cups, which was really nice, and she was just such a nice person overall. So if you're watching this video, genuinely thank you so much. I love you. So I tried those drinks, and then a little later in November I got an email from the news, and they wanted to basically put me in the news with my Dunkin' drinks, and that has never happened before. I was honestly at first a little like, is this real? And then I said yes to the person who reached out to me, and she was like, okay, great. And I looked on the news the next day, and my face was on the news with my YouTube channel, and it was just a really cool accomplishment that I never even knew would happen. So that was really cool, and I was very appreciative of that. Then December came around, and it was Christmas time. I was doing my Christmas content. I was really excited, and I got an email from an agency that they were interested in working with me, and I've been wanting to sign with a talent agency for so long, and I was like, you know what, I have a lot of goals, and having a manager may help me reach those goals, and I also want to meet new people in the social media world and make new friends, so I'm gonna give this a go. So I went on a call. Everything went really well. My manager is so sweet, and I'm very excited to continue working with her, and everything's been going very well so far, and I'm very excited. And then honestly, the end of December was just really fun. I did a JCPenney photo shoot with my brother for one of my mom's gifts, and that was really funny. I asked my boyfriend to come do it with me, and he did it with me, and then I also did it with my best friend Madison, who came home from Florida. I also got to go to a lot of Christmas dinners and be around a lot more of my friends, and kind of just surround myself around the people that I love, which I was very appreciative of. And then New Year's came, and I got to see my uncle from New Mexico and spend time with my boyfriend and his family, so that was a nice way to kind of like end off the year. And now we are here talking about 2025. So overall, 2024, there's a lot of big key factors that did not make 2024 a good year, but there are good things and little things and big things that happened in 2024 that I'll always remember and that I'm very appreciative of, and I think that's important to mention as well. Now we're going to talk a little bit about 2025 because, like I said, I do have a lot of 2025 goals as well, and I talked about this a little, but I didn't like list out all of my 2025 goals, and I think that could be a fun thing to do. So when I look back at this at the end of the year, I'll see all the goals that I did reach. So the first goal I have for 2025 is to read more. Honestly, I did not start this at all yet. It isn't even 10 days into 2025, so it's okay. I do have a plan. I honestly have never been the biggest reader, but I do want to challenge myself to read more because I know it's good for my mind. So I want to read at least 4 times a week, and when I say this, I mean very small amounts, probably like 15 minutes a day. And I just want to do this to better my mind. I know reading is really beneficial. If I ever do really start to love reading, obviously I will increase the amount that I am reading, but as of right now, I just don't know if that's gonna happen. So we're gonna stick with, I am going to read 4 times a week, but only for 15 minutes, unless it's a book that I really like and it's not something that I'm kind of pushing myself to do, but it's something I want to do, then that's a different story. I think it's really important to recognize that setting goals is really important, but setting attainable goals is really important. And I know if I set a goal that's more of me saying read an hour every day, I'm just not going to do it. So I'm trying to set goals for myself that I know I will reach and goals that I know I can reach. And that's what I mean by not having self-doubt and setting achievable goals that are within the healthy ratio of balance for your life. My next goal is to start lifting 1 time a week and go to the gym 5 times a week. So personally, I go to the gym already 5 times a week. I go to Orange Theory, so that's not changing, but I want to start personal training or just lifting in general at least 1 time a week and kind of focus on gaining more muscle. I talked about how in 2024 I lost the weight, and I've been doing a good job at maintaining my weight and keeping my flare-ups to a low with PCOS, but I now want to focus more on the muscle part and having more protein in my diet and just living more of a healthy lifestyle with balance, because I think it's still really important to have balance in my life. And then another goal that I have that kind of goes along with this is to drink more water. I am really bad at drinking water. I'm trying to drink more water and have lemon in my water because I know that there's very good benefits of having lemon water as well. So I am trying to broaden my water palette. My next goal is to hit 100 100K on YouTube by the end of the year and 50K on YouTube by June. Now this is a goal that I think is attainable for 2025. Definitely the 50K one. The 100K one may be a little bit of a stretch, but honestly, you never know. I could have a video that does really good, that really helps me. I could have multiple videos that do really good. I could have videos that don't do as well. It really just depends on how my videos play out, but that is my overall goal. Obviously, I'm thankful for every single one of you, like I mentioned before, and these are just goals that I have for myself. And then I also have, going along with social media, hit 10K on Instagram. Right now I have 5,000, so we're halfway there, which again, I'm very appreciative of. Next, I have attend my first brand event. Personally, I've never been to a brand event before. This is a really big goal of mine in 2025. I think that it would be so cool. I want to be able to connect with the brands that I've worked with before on partnerships and sponsorships. And I also just want to meet more people and become friends with more people and have more connections. And I think that going to events and saying yes to more things is something that I really want to do. Another thing that I've been mentioning a lot is I want to do a couple things out of my comfort zone. I think challenging myself and doing some things that I wouldn't normally say yes to is something I really want to challenge myself to. I am someone who is not the best when it comes to being stressed out and feeling overwhelmed, and I think that doing anything that will allow me to challenge myself and show growth in that area could really be beneficial for my overall growth. So that is something I also want to do in 2025. Sorry if this video is a little long. I just love manifesting and vision board planning and goal setting. The next goal I have is to travel alone. I love traveling. I obviously want to travel with my friends and my family as well, but I do want to challenge myself into also traveling alone. I think this could be something that is one of those things that puts me outside of my comfort zone, but is something that I'll end up loving. So this is something I definitely want to try in 2025. And it doesn't have to be anywhere far to begin with. It could be to go travel and maybe meet up with a friend one day, and then the other day have a solo day. I can start very small and then work up to a bigger goal. Next thing I have is only eat out twice a week. I've been doing a pretty good job at this, honestly. I think DoorDash is more of my problem, which I don't want to DoorDash as much either. One of my goals for 2025 is learn how to cook. If you guys have been keeping up with my vlogs, you would know how that's going. I just made penne vodka. That actually turned out really good. So I guess we're off to a pretty good start, but definitely need improvement there as well. Next, I have a savings goal. I'm not necessarily going to say what the savings goal is. Maybe I will when I hit it, but I don't know if I'm comfortable with saying it. So next I just have save blank amount. And then the last thing is better my relationship with all of my friends, all of my family, my boyfriend, his family. And I'm not saying this because anything bad happened. I'm just saying make it deeper, even though I do have really good relationships with everyone in my life, which I'm really, really thankful for. Those are all my goals for 2025. I am very excited about 2025. Like I said in a lot of my videos, I have a good vision for 2025, and I think that there's a lot that is going to occur that is going to be so good, and I'm so excited for it. My vision board is complete. I think she looks beautiful. I'm so excited. I have so many of the goals that I want to reach this year on here. I'll do a little overview for you guys, but this is what she looks like. I am very happy, and we're going to put her on my wall for 2025. My original plan did not work, so I ended up putting the vision board here, and I think it still looks cute. That is going to be it for this video. I'm so excited that my 2025 vision board is finally made, and I truthfully really do believe and love vision boards so much. If you stayed up until this point of the video, let me know your goals for 2025 and also comment this emoji down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you really soon in my next video. Bye guys.